It's another Victory Monday here on CHGO. We got a lot to follow up on from yesterday's win over the Saints. Lance Briggs is here. Show starts right now.
It is a Victory Monday, a 4 victory in a row Monday. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast as we celebrate this start to the season. We are proudly presented today by Bet365. It is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. Mark Carman, Adam Hoge, Lance Briggs.
You know what that was right there? That was great teamwork to start on Monday.
I mean,
that's what that was.
I'd probably go a little bit too rogue there, but I enjoyed the actual being able to follow the formalities.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Adam Hoge. I want to be more like
Hoge.
Hoge.
It was like Connor Bedard to Ryan Donato last night in overtime, but that's not why you're here.
That is definitely not why we're here. That's not why I'm here. I'll tell you that much. I am here because the Bears have won 4 games in a row, and they pay me to do this, which is amazing, and because Lance Briggs is here. Team, we're going to do a lot today.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the greatest. Ben Johnson, it is rare being the slightly kind of cantankerous fellow that I am.
Cantankerous, huh?
Yeah, it's a good word.
Okay.
He's been extra cantankerous this morning, by the way.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm open for any word that you would kind of throw in.
That's more like tinkering.
Oh.
But it's fine.
I don't openly just like, on the train or in the car or at home, just like a huge smile comes to my face. But this morning, when I was watching, all the content on the old social medias, and they went to Ben Johnson's post-game video the Bears put out, it actually made me retweet the thing. It was so good. I mean, he that dude is putting a smile on my face with good, better, best, and they gave a game ball to Dennis. We'll talk about that coming up. We got Lance's grades at the bottom, but we are kind of diving into.
There's also a CHGO investigation ongoing.
Yes, we have a very important CHGO investigation. Somebody has done Hoge wrong.
Oh.
It wasn't me.
Snap.
Steven's doing the investigation, though. And
Okay, let's
just
get to the bottom
teaser.
of this.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think you're going to like this. But first, we're going to talk about whether the Bears, because at 4-2, since they went to a 17-game schedule, 75% of the teams roughly have made the playoffs. Are the Bears an actual contender, or are we in pretender land?
Well, part of the reason why we asked this question is because they happen to be one of the 25% that didn't make the playoffs last year.
4-2 last year, remember that?
And Steven, remind me, although I think it might be in front of me too.
It's in there. Yeah, so Bears right now, if the playoffs started today, and there's still 2 games to be played tonight, they would be in 8th place in the NFC, miss the playoffs. Now the Seahawks and Lions both play tonight. That would affect that. And NFL.com is giving the Bears a 25% chance of making the playoffs.
So despite the fact that of all the teams since the 17 games, that's still kind of a small sample size, by the way, though. But
it is
4-2. You make the playoffs 3/4 of the time. Yet NFL.com's basically pegging them to be the other 4th that doesn't make it. And
they're a 6.5-point underdog.
They're a 6.5-point underdog to the Baltimore Ravens already. I think it's a fair question. It seems like maybe outside of Chicago, they're being labeled, at least by some of these computers and math and Vegas people, to be a pretender right now. Briggs, do you think that's fair?
Only because of history. But I don't, in today's market, the way that the parity, it's really hard to predict. This is a year that the house is making a lot of money, off of bets, because you can't, it's hard to predict each week. So I think they're contenders because it's literally any given Sunday in 2025 and the 2025 football season.
Well, and when we have these conversations with you, you generally put the player jersey right back on, and you live in the, let's not go too far ahead. If you were in that locker room right now, you wouldn't be stamping yourself into the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, way too
You haven't
early.
earned that. You haven't earned that
No.
yet. Let's, you're on a 4-game win streak. Our goal is to get to 5. Just played yesterday. There's a 24-hour rule of enjoy it. Enjoy your accomplishments. And today, I'm sure those guys are already in the training room. They're already watching film. They're already working toward this week, getting a jump on it.
Well, and so that part of it, I think, when I'm looking at it, the culture that the Bears have right now is so dramatically better than what it was last year. And I got to be honest, I was worried about it, and I talked about it a lot, at least I don't know how much.
What were you worried about? What worried you the most?
Well, what worried me the most earlier in the year is that every time I went in that locker room, it's always it seems like it's a party going on in there. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. I mean, 0-1, it's a party. 0-2, it's a party. I'm like, where is this sort of the serious? We got some.
You wanted to be somber in there.
Well, I wanted.
You wanted to see
business.
You wanted to see alligator tears.
Yeah, see, business like, and I understand. This like what we see in the locker room in the 40 minutes that the
I have a follow-up question for you.
Yeah.
Because we were going to do a little bit of this tomorrow. Good take, bad take. Do you think that take by you was good or bad at this point? Because they did go on to win 4 in a row.
Well, clearly it was a bad take. Clearly. I mean, their culture right now is fantastic.
But it was the same culture in week 1 and 2
Right.
that is right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So that looks like a bad take.
I think
Right
this
now.
too. I think this too. As long as you have playoff, you're in the playoff picture, then what you're seeing in that locker room, I don't think it becomes somber until you're playing for pride. When you're playing for pride, then you walk in there and it's like, we know we're not going to the playoffs. Then it's going to be a different mood there, I think.
Yeah. Well, and also for the record, like, look, y'all are in the NFL, most exclusive country club on the planet, professional sports. You're all making great money. Even if you're the lowest guy on the totem pole, you're still making really good money. I would be in a good mood too. Like win or lose, like but there's a difference that like with the head of.
What college are you coming from? Are you coming from like the University of New Mexico? Or are you coming from Ohio State, where all you did was win? Alabama, all you did was win. And so when I remember meeting Tommy Harrison, and we were off. I mean, I think we won 5 or 6 games that year. So we were on a losing streak, and Tommy had a really bad disposition. I'm coming from Arizona, so we were 500 the last 2-3 years. So I'm like, well, we still have a chance. And he's just moping around. He's like, I can't get used to this. He was like, I'm used to winning, so it's different. Like every player is different. So there's a mixture of all of that.
And hey, now, by the way, they're winning. Even the Tommy Harris should be happy in that locker room right now. But also with his head forward. Go ahead, Hoge.
They are, but it's a little bit of a dose of reality. And I still think they can beat the Ravens this week. I think I think the spread is way too high. But I certainly did not expect them to be favored, despite the fact that the Ravens are 1-5, because people watch football and they realize that sometimes your record is not a complete indication of what you actually are. This schedule's hard, guys. So when we talk about playoffs and if they're really a contender, I know like 2 weeks ago, like, oh, well, maybe they don't have to play Lamar Jackson and they don't have to play Joe Burrow, but sounds like Lamar's coming back. I don't know if you guys have watched the Bengals the last 2 weeks, but I saw Joe Flacco in person at Lambeau. Still looks
the Joe Flacco story is unbelievable.
It is. Well, here's the thing Joe does that's great. He knows to get the ball to Jamar Chase. And Jamar Chase is really good. And so he showed up, and he's like, I'm going to do what the other guys weren't doing, and I'm just going to throw it to that guy, and we're going to be competitive again. So that, all of a sudden, that doesn't look like an easy game. The Giants at home, you'd think you'd win that one. But we're talking another game against the Vikings, 2 more against the Packers. You got the Lions, the 49ers, the Eagles on the road. This is a tough schedule. So not to mention the division they're in, which is the best in football. So I think the Bears are a contender. I think they're going to be playing meaningful football in December. And my hope is that in week 18 they're playing a game where they still have a chance to get in. But I also can understand why NFL.com right now says it's a 25% chance.
If anybody is, I'd say, an expert at knowing if you have a 1-in-5 potential team, it'd be a Bears fan. You know what I mean? So if we're 1-5 and we're like, listen, we're 1-5, but listen, we're gaining, like we're getting better. We've seen too many 1-5 teams or 2-5, 2-4 teams, or vice versa, that say, listen, we have somebody, or here we go again. And right now we're on a 4-game win streak, and everybody's saying, listen, I believe in what we're doing. I believe in Ben Johnson and what's happening here. So I think this is the best contender situation that we've Bears fans seen in a long time.
Agreed. And let's talk about what is sustainable right now.
Run game.
Okay, so let's start there. The offensive line. Theo Bennett was not good yesterday, but it was a little rough. But
How can you say that when they ran for over 200 yards?
Yeah, I think there was a couple rough moments, Carm, but I think when
I'm not saying
I don't think it's a complete coincidence the run game took off when Braxton Jones was switched out for Theo Bennett. I think, and there are some examples, including that touchdown run DeAndre Swift had, where Theo Bennett was good.
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to. Theo Bennett is my guy. I'm a Bennett.
I kind of feel like he's not.
Yeah.
I so enjoy my opportunities with Lance, because it's very in the moment, and I appreciate that. And listen, Bennett had some of the roughest moments yesterday. Chase Young nearly had 2 interceptions because Theo Bennett was scuffling around. Now, that being said, the Bears ran the ball a ton, so he obviously was doing something right. I feel you. That's totally fine. But my point is that I agree. The offensive line is solid, and Theo's the weak link around there right now, and I think Theo is going – I believe he's going to get better, so I agree.
Yeah.
Like this sustainable offensive line. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, all of a sudden looks like they got a 1-2 punch. I'm a little concerned about DeAndre Swift with the groin injury. Is he going to hold up? He's always missed some time, but he's back-to-back 100-yard games.
He looks good on Sunday. That's what matters.
Right. I mean, and he's catching the ball too.
Did we pick up Pollard?
Say
Did
again?
we sign Pollard? Did we sign Pollard?
No.
We did not.
No.
Okay, I thought I
No.
saw something
No.
that said we signed Pollard,
yeah.
and that would have been the reason why. But okay.
So they could add somebody into that room, but
Yeah.
even Roshan yesterday when he
Roshan
got
had
shot.
that good run.
You had a
All
lot.
right, can we get down to the brass tacks here, though?
Sure, go ahead.
Because, look, regardless of, hey, it'd be great if they get to the playoffs, it'd be even greater if they win a playoff game this year, or maybe they don't get in the playoffs since week 18. Let's not lose sight of...
Let's win number 5.
Yeah,
Let's focus on
well, that's
5.
what I'm getting back to.
Yep.
Regardless of all that stuff, I think we can all agree they need the quarterback to play better than he did yesterday. And that is still big picture. Now, but I think it's been very up and down with Caleb so far this season. I think there's been some really good games. I think that there's the 2 bad ones for me are the Vikings game to start the year, and yesterday would have been the second worst in my opinion. I thought the Raiders game, he was so-so, and then there's a couple good ones in there, especially Cowboys. But you got something real quick?
Adam, in my time playing football, I've never seen the issue that they have from the center to the snap the way that I've seen it with this group. And so yes, the quarterback needs to play better, and there's a lot of different things, but it starts with the snap, and I know that they're all protecting each other and their answers and this and that. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. Yeah, it's all of your fault at the end of the day, but it starts with the center and the quarterback, and if we're having, we have 10 penalties for almost 100 yards, and it's obvious that there's something wrong at the center and the whatever the quarterback's calling. These linemen are jumping off sides. We have to. I've never seen anything like this before.
So can you?
I've never seen the center snap the ball to himself before.
Ever.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
know if it
at
worked.
least they came up with something new.
Yeah.
He's walking around with that thing in between his legs. That was amazing. But can somebody? Can you explain?
Every segment.
I don't think you should do that ever.
But that's what he was doing.
That's illegal.
He just kept it there. He didn't move it, and then he fell. It was bizarre. But can you? I just explain. I honestly,
Drew Stallman didn't just wake up when he became a Bear and forget how to snap the football.
Right,
Okay,
which is
like
at all.
this is the quarterback. We got this cadence stuff we've been talking about since last year when there's a completely different coaching staff here and a different center, different offensive line. They have to figure this out. I refuse to believe, though, that they won't. The stuff I'm more concerned about is how all of a sudden there's inaccuracy in something Caleb was previously good at, which is throwing the ball on the run. Now, all that being said, I want to play this clip from Caleb because I don't want to turn into Carm here and start reading the press conferences too much.
You do want to turn into
But
Carm. It's
I
amazing.
liked his press conference yesterday because I liked how he took accountability, even for the center stuff, for the snap exchange. Was very critical of himself at times, but still wasn't like – it also sometimes concerns me when guys win a football game and they're so down on themselves they don't even look like they're happy at all. Like, it's okay to be happy you won an NFL football game at the same time.
That's
but
competitiveness, Adam. That's
no,
competitiveness.
I get it. So, but anyway, I thought Caleb checked all the boxes here. So he was asked, basically a question about where things stand, about why he thinks like a day like yesterday can actually be good for him and the team in the long run.
Sorry, I'm waiting for that to upload right now.
Oh, okay, we don't have that. Sorry.
It's any
be there in
any
a
moment. Can we do it? But first,
Why
while
don't-
we wait for it, can we do that? Let's do that. So we'll Caleb in a second, but first, whatever the sport, the app to bet on is Circa Sports Illinois. That's right. If you want to bet the Bears to cover money line, Ravens 6.5. Come on. Circa Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois with the high betting limits. You can throw Hoge money on there. Low holds, exceptional customer service. Do all the good things. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. Spreads, props, futures, in-game. Circa Sports has it. Good opportunity yesterday to bet in-game with the Bears. When the Saints were coming back, there was money to be made all over the place there. Fun to bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. You'd have to be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, we got to get real here for a second because football has gone soft. The refereeing has gone
Bad refs.
soft.
Bad refs.
You cannot hit anybody anymore or you get a flag. Kyler Gordon hit him too hard in the shoulder. Flag. This is ridiculous. Just bubble wrap. Bubble wrap the quarterbacks.
No ref has ever drank in an RC, apparently.
No, they haven't. Soda used to have some kick. Now it's all about pretty colors and easy fizz. Well, RC Cola is not a soft drink. It's just damn good cola. It's the original cola that doesn't fold under pressure. RC is an OG cola in a world of spineless soft drinks. No trends, no gimmicks, no glow up. RC hasn't changed its stripes, and they're way better than the referee stripes, since 1905 because it didn't need to. It's the same bold, crisp flavor it's always been. RC Cola tastes like a punch in the thirst, so do yourself a favor. Grab some RC at your local store for all your football parties, your tailgates.
Griffin House, November 8th.
Very specific, but yeah, RC is the move for whatever you're doing.
Hey, that's my guy. He's coming to town out in Lake Forest. Maybe a bunch of Bears will be out there. Good scene. All right, let's get to this Caleb. This was Caleb after the game, asked about his performance, and this is a very mature quarterback in year 2 in the league.
Days like today, I would say, are needed, just in the sense of it gives you a little bit more to be able to look back on something and figure out what. And so that's important. And so you have these moments, and then you get later in the season, and you may start to have one of these moments, and you get to go back to the feeling, go back to what was wrong, and what you need to figure out early in the season. And so now, when we're late in the season, it's like, okay, I remember what it was. I remember, how can I fix it? It's more of a solution-based, thing instead of it being like, what's the issue? And so right now we're going to go back. I'm going to go look at the film. I'm going to figure out, and I am going to figure this out, especially with, some of these explosive plays, some of these, mainly talking about the on-the-run stuff. And I haven't been efficient with those. I haven't been hitting them, and it's frustrating. And so we're going to figure this out. I'm going to figure it out. When we start hitting on those cylinders, where we start having some of these explosive plays, especially when the play breaks, and it turns into our second play, it's going to be, real devastating to the other side. So we're going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And then other than that, it just comes down to the basics. Feet, eyes, delivering a good ball to the guys. And then it comes down to, like I said before, communication and make sure everybody's on the same page and, we're rolling off the ball.
Caleb, in your life,
All right, so for the record, I really enjoyed that quote, that whole segment there, because he's naming what is. I haven't been good here. And then he's also talking about how he believes in himself, which is you have to have that. And I'm going to figure it out. Said it multiple times. I'm enjoying the confidence there. And then he got, I thought at the end, he just kind of summed it up like, listen, I got to get my feet together. I got to get my eyes together. But I'm watching you, Briggs, and you got a little bit of a reaction to this whole thing. So talk to us.
Listen, it sounds good. Sounds good. You've got to put it on tape. You've got to go out there on the field and produce. I've been on the field where I've missed, I missed one tackle, had a pat on the butt, hey, you'll get that. I missed 2 tackles, hey, you need to get that. I missed 3 tackles, and Mike Brown's in my face saying, stop leaving your effing feet. Drive through the tackle. We're tired of it. So, yeah, it sounds good. As the quarterback, you are going to be on the forefront, so you have to answer those questions. And, yes, the accountability, but this isn't the first time that where you've been off the mark. So accountability is great. Stop being off the damn mark.
Right. I mean, if I come in here late every day and be like, I got you tomorrow, Hoge, at some point, Hoge is going to do something that wouldn't be fun for Carm. But so I hear you.
It's confusing to me because look, to your point about what you just brought up, we have heard like frustration behind the scenes at times of like how this stuff has piled up, how this has been an issue for as long as it is. And then but I'll say this too, and at times, even going back to August, like almost like I would say legit panic about where this thing was going to be early in the season. And yet, what I've heard more of lately is how this stuff was actually starting to click. And so that's why I was very surprised yesterday, and maybe that's on me, I shouldn't be. But I don't know if it's just because
believe what you see.
I know, and we hadn't seen a home game in a month, which is weird. And all of a sudden they come back home and they can't figure out all the stuff they could seemingly do on the road.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I'm confused by it. The stuff that should be easier was for some reason harder yesterday, and that also goes for the on-the-run stuff. This is the stuff we know he can do. It's all over his college tape. The hero ball stuff shouldn't be the problem. And in a weird way, if you had said, okay, 6 games into the season, would you rather have him still doing hero ball like crazy and that's where he's making his money, but he can't do anything in the pocket? Or he's seemingly making progress in the pocket, now he's completely inaccurate out of the pocket when he's running. I would have picked the latter because it's showing some progress in his development in the pocket, but it's also like you just want it to all click.
If I were a defense watching for the tendency for him, I'm going to look at right now when he scrambles to his right and when he scrambles to his left. Okay? And when he scrambles to his left, the percent of completions drops dramatically. Okay? So now I want to flush him to his left because I want to raise the chances of him throwing an incomplete pass. All right? This is from a defensive standpoint.
That's
this
fair.
is what you want to do. All right? This is just like it was – blitzing Michael Vick was really easy. We're going to blitz him from his left side, make him flush to his right because he's inaccurate throwing the ball to his right. He's going to run the ball. And so Caleb, watching him in the game yesterday, when he scrambles to his left, I don't think he completed a pass when he scrambled to his left. It was off.
Well, and that's what I mean by the confusion, because this is the guy who consistently has 800 clips of him going to his left with like this motion where he's like basically wide open and using all his arm strength.
Absolutely, doing the splits and all that good stuff.
And all that stuff. And now all of a sudden this year, it's not accurate. And so I don't know. I guess that's me saying I can't imagine it just completely disappeared, but it is a weird thing.
So, I mean, you guys are just a drop ahead of where I'm at in the whole thing because for training camp and early in the season, they could not get the plays, couldn't get out of the huddle fast enough, couldn't get the plays off, false starts left and right. Last week it went away. This past week you had 5 false starts, 2 on Theo Benedict, Drew Dahl. I mean, everybody on the offensive line. So that, I'm not saying that's all on Caleb, but it's partly on Caleb.
Yep.
And so I'm starting to wonder, because Ben is going to put in a different installation each week. It's not going to be the same. So his work ethic, as far as understanding what is being asked each week, is going to have to be on point. So I do wonder, and this is just a wonder, and I'm not, and I have no idea, but I do wonder if, look, you win 3 in a row, maybe you're maybe not as dialed in, and then you get in the moment and it doesn't look good. Because last week you had it, and this week you didn't. So it's confusing to me, which I think could be, to what he just said, by the way, could be a great learning point for him. Like, I can't slough off at all because it's not going to look good on Sunday.
We cannot provide excuses for these full-grown men. We cannot.
I'm not giving an excuse. I'm calling what it. That's a bad thing if that's what's going on.
Yeah, but we're searching for the reasons. For the reasons why this or that's happening. I was drafted in the 3rd round. I was drafted in the 3rd round because they figured I had holes here, holes there. I was soft, and I was this, and I was that. All these different things were the reason. I was lazy or whatever, had an attitude or whatever. All those reasons are why I was drafted in the 3rd round. If I were drafted in the 1st round, if I was drafted in the top 10, they would eliminate all those things. Say, hey, all of those things you have no issues with. He's smart. He does this. He's always there. He's attentive. He makes these plays. He's consistent. He's a workout warrior. His numbers are great. He doesn't miss anything.
Yep. That's
what we're talking about. We're talking about a player that was the number 1 pick. That means you're supposed to be the most flawless coming out of college. So the accountability is great. I love that. We all love that. We want that. But it sounds good. You've got to produce.
Well, so you're holding him in the fair standard of where he got drafted.
Correct.
And he hasn't hit to that level where the Bears he's coming out week in and week out and dominating like you would want a number 1 overall pick to do. But that, but it's also like, can he get there? Right?
But getting back to his clip, and part of why I wanted to play that is because I agree with him. I think to sort of translate what he said, we clean up the pre-snap stuff, which he put on himself.
Right.
And I throw the ball more accurately, which again he put on himself. Those 2 things, then they're going to be a scary, explosive offense.
100%.
I can get with that.
100%.
And I guess to your point, Lance, like with all those things that we know about him, he should be able to do that.
He should have been able to do that. He should have. Okay, he's inaccurate. Okay, I get it. He's a little inaccurate. He can get there. I get it. I kind of knew. I'm not surprised that in this point of this offense, this is the part where we need to clean up and we need to fix. Okay, I kind of saw this happening and know that we can get there. The snaps and the snap count and all that stuff, that I believe that one's a little more disappointing for me. All right, because it's very simple and it's not like, listen, we're gonna go get a snap coach. Hey, we have an issue with our coaches on the field. We got to get a get back coach now. And now, from every level, we have a get back coach in our high school. We have a coach that's getting everybody back and pulling everybody back, and so it's one of those. It's a popular position now, But we're not going to go get a snap coach, a penalty coach. This is the reason why it's an issue is because it's not something that's ever been an issue that's not fixable within minutes.
Is that your high school swag, by the way?
This is Toronto Argonauts, the Argos, man. Yep, cheers.
The Argonauts.
Yeah, man. One of my best friends, man, Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach.
Oh, okay.
Killing it, right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Look at repping.
They got some good. I
decent,
like
right?
that. Yeah,
Decent,
that
right?
looks good.
I'm to get him. So I know he'll see this, so we'll get some merch out.
Well, people are talking about it in the chat. They're wondering about the gear. So
I'm actually I feel like I should have known that. I don't know if you're just repping the Blue Jays tonight in Game 7 or something.
Yeah.
The Argos.
Yeah.
Mark Trestman's squad. Or no, he was Montreal.
All right. We just,
Well,
yeah. He did win a lot out there.
Real fast, because I want to celebrate Dennis Allen coming back here, but just sort of, and I'm not putting, all the penalty issues on Caleb because that'd be ridiculous. But just to name it, as far as like when we're talking about contenders, pretenders, and and the fall starts are a part of it. The Bears right now 53 penalties, all right, for 453 yards. That's and this is a little note out of Biggs' piece today. That's the most penalties they've had in a 6-game stretch since they had 54 in 6 consecutive games. When? 2004 season. And it's not just any underlines that their opponents have been penalized 30 times. So in the same game, it's not like they're blowing it on both sides here. Like the Bears are being penalized way more.
Well, and I also don't want to take away from the point because the point is valid. They have way too many penalties. But some of these calls have also been complete BS.
Yeah.
Like complete BS. Like the OPIs the last 2 weeks. Kyler Gordon's hit yesterday.
But that's expected.
Yeah, that's every team.
That's
expected.
Every team. I mean, you're gonna get 3, 4, especially in today's game. Whereas like we had 6 penalties, 2 of them were legit. 4 of them were BS calls.
I guess my question is, and we'll get to break 1 second here, Stephen. My question is, if this is what's going on in your 6th game into the season, how hard is that to fix?
It's very fixable.
You think it's very fixable?
Yeah, but it's, again, one of the issues that we're talking about is false starts and the snap. So we're talking about kind of undiscovered country right here, and so it's it's a problem that people never have an issue with.
Okay.
How do you fix the problem?
Well, and this is where it goes back to the coaching staff, and I would bet a lot of money that they're having this conversation today just in their coaching staff meeting, which is how much do we need to change what we're asking him to do versus what do we need him to get to at some where you're weighing development versus win now, those type of conversations. Because do we want to change this up to make it easier to beat the Ravens this week? Or is this stuff where, like, dude, if he's our guy, he has to know this stuff. He has to keep – and the only way to get good at it is to keep repping it and to keep having it drilled into his head on a daily basis. And that's a tricky answer to come to.
What you got to do is, if he's got his hand under the center, give him a little love. Right? Listen, I know it sounds weird. But, I've been around offensive coordinators that have talked to you. They say, hey, put your hand in there. Put your hand in there. All right? Let them know you're there. Let them know you're there, And you can ask Olin Kreutz. He's had a quarterback's hand under his ass for, most of his life. So, it's always a little tap. Let them know, hey, ready, said, hut. I don't know.
Don't go on my voice. Go on my little tap.
Yeah, my tap, man.
I want to give you a little wiggle. Let's go.
No.
So you got there, so I'm in taking it to the next level. Who was the guy? I think it was either McMahon or Cutler who told the story that he didn't want to go under center because the dude had a major sweat issue that he just didn't want to get involved in.
I've heard that, yeah. I think that might be a Peyton Manning story.
Okay. That was a good turn for the show right there.
Offensive linemen, I think they're,
you're working hard down there.
That's hard to hear from an offensive lineman. Like, they're, them, the D linemen, they're always in the trenches. It's a dirty game in there,
That's right. That's right.
On the second wiggle. We're going on 1. We're going on 2 wiggle.
Yeah. Third tap. Let's go. RCFN 2010. We hear you. Next topic, please, indeed, Dr. Truth. All right. Hey, we're going to salute Dennis Allen. The grades are coming up as well, but first. And shout out to our friends at Eye on the Ball. That's right, you coaches out there. Get yourself in the game. It's simple. You want to give back? That's right. You do. You create a profile. You upload your background, and boom, you're coaching. You're making money. You're impacting kids. It's free for 6 months. It's free for 6 months, and then it's just $50 a month, which is like, I don't know, 1 session maybe if you're that guy. $500 for the whole year. Athletes of all ages in sports, they're looking for you. They need you. They want to go next level. Their parents are busy. So if you're already looking to grow and ready to grow your coaching business and reach more athletes, check it out right now. EyeOnTheBall.net. That's EyeOnTheBall.net. Don't wait. Athletes are ready for you. Basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, swimming. EyeOnTheBall.net.
Carman, I woke up this morning. what is that noise? It wasn't a loud noise. It's just a little bit of, it was a different noise. It's my furnace running. Temperature down in the 30s overnight.
Terrible feeling.
It is a terrible feeling, but it's also the feeling you need to know to call Four Seasons, because now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons furnace tune-up. You want to make sure it is ready to go, and they got you covered for everything. If you got a plumbing emergency, call Four Seasons. Electrical emergency, call Four Seasons. If you're even thinking of a whole home generator, they got you covered. At Four Seasons, they guarantee you same-day installation on all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Plus, you can save up to $4,000 on furnace and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. They've been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com.
All right. Let's do some Ben Johnson shout-outs here. So, good, better, best, never let it rest. It seems like the players absolutely love it. We'll get to we're gonna do the Briggs grades. Normally we do it now. For you diehards out there, we're gonna do it in 10 minutes. So it's just the professor is cooking over there. He's ready to go. But we went a little longer in the first two segments. So I wanted to get to what Ben had to say in the locker room yesterday when he gave one game ball out.
Just one. He said there'd be more today, but there was just one post game.
Only one, and he gives it to his defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen. And Dennis gets up there and talks in front of everybody and says, like, look, basically life is crazy, and he didn't want to get fired, and he didn't want to be here.
He said sometimes you're not good enough for somebody else, but that's okay.
That's
because
right.
He loves being here with these guys.
Right.
And it was a good speech.
So Ben realized that today meant a lot to his DC. The defense has got 4 more takeaways yesterday. Ben is a first-year head coach versus somebody who's been a head coach and has a lot of respect and has a lot of skins on the wall in this game. For him to underline that guy, and then for Dennis to get up there and appreciate it and talk about how he's happy to be here. To me, that feels like a coaching staff coming together, and it's a head coach being confident enough in himself to prop up another guy on his staff. There's a lot. I just think there's a lot to like there that I put a big smile on my face. I think you're with me on this.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on it. I think they came together, I think, as a staff, a while ago. But it's showing. It's showing more now. Everything always shows more when you're winning. Mm-hmm. And especially when 4 wins, it's just like you said. In that locker room, I thought they weren't taking this season seriously in week 1 and 2. Now, 4 wins later, they're doing the same stuff they were doing in the locker room now. Oh, they do understand it. They do get it. So it's sometimes it takes time for everybody else to understand exactly what they understand in that locker room. And so they always have to have that belief, and they always have to buy into that system, and the good, better, best, and all that good stuff. Everybody's adopting that in Chicago, and it's a good feel. It's a really good feel story. But I do believe that the coaching staff that's together, they all believe in one another, and they believe in the players. The players believe in each other.
Yeah, look, I think in sports in general, but especially football, that word trust matters so much. It's a real thing, and we're coming off a coaching staff that was not trusted by the players, and I think it went both ways. I don't think that
by
staff,
the government. There's a lot of issues, man.
And there were moments early on in OTAs this year where I was just like, I wonder how this is going to go over. Cole Kmet getting called out and kicked out of a drill because he was lined up properly or whatever. But I think it was even in training camp when some of the things weren't going well, you saw the signs that the trust was going to be there, that they were like, all right, this Dan Roshar guy coaching the offensive line, he's different. And so when you have that, I think you can have a little bit more patience when things don't start right. Like you give up 52 points to the Detroit Lions, and now I'm just speaking for myself because I can't speak for the players, but I was still like, I still think Dennis Allen's a good defensive coordinator. He gets a couple guys back, maybe they can turn this thing around. But what I think you're seeing in Carman, what I was trying to get to actually was what matters more to me even than Ben Johnson having the awareness, which is important, that like this is the guy to give the game ball this week that's going to resonate the best with the locker room, was just then you saw the instant reaction from the players.
Right.
Because the players, that's the part that kind of matters to me. Mm-hmm. They went nuts.
Yeah.
They went nuts, and they were clearly, so that's the trust, that's the belief in the coaching staff. And going back to what Caleb said, too, in that press conference he had yesterday, too, he praised the coaching again. He praised Ben Johnson. He put it all on himself and said, hey, we have the coaches to get there. So I think from that, more than anything, from the first 6 games, I think that's the thing you have to feel the best about with where the Bears are headed is the buy-in to this coaching staff.
Great foundation.
Exactly.
They have a great foundation.
And look, Dennis Allen, when he was getting celebrated, he's jumping up and down in the middle of that pile. And I got to tell you, for a 53-year-old, dude was pulling it off. I mean, he had a little,
Sounds like you're thinking about yourself.
I do look about 10 years younger than him, but he's in the age range. Yeah. So I'll throw that in there because
that was a shot fired.
Just saying. I mean, the guy looks. It's those long
he's
hours.
He's a football coach,
and he just beat his former team.
Yeah, but he got after it. It was impressive. He was moving around.
I'm just saying, football coaches kind of age at a higher.
Yeah, no, they do.
And who wants a reserved defensive coordinator?
Fair.
There's an intensity there, right?
Fair. Would Lovey, was he as comfortable around Rivera as in theory Ben is with Dennis?
Lovey was very conservative. Ron Rivera was very progressive. You know how that rolls in our country. But it took time. It took a lot of time. Ron wanted to blitz. Lovey wanted to stay in cover 2.
Yeah.
So we had to
isn't
figure
that
it out.
ultimately why they separated? Right. I'm trying to.
They didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay Ron.
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay Ron. Maybe that played into it. I don't know, but that was one of the things that bumped heads.
Okay. I also think that dynamic's easier, Carm, when you got an offensive guy and a defensive guy. When you got
That's
the defensive
fair.
guy and what he just said, where their philosophies might not completely line up. Whereas right now, I think Ben's like, I'm not going to step on your toes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in here and be like, hey, you should be doing
do this and do that. No, right.
Yeah. Jordan Brody, I see you. I got you in a second here, but so we can wrap up the Dennis talk with this. Like the defense right now, 3rd in the league on 3rd down.
It's good.
He's moved TJ to the middle, playing the mic. Mm-hmm. Tremaine Edmonds, your guy Lance, has never had more tackles in a 4-game run than he's had in the last 4 in his NFL career, and he was obviously a productive player in Buffalo. You got 15 takeaways in a 4-game span. You got Jaquan Brisker flying around looking awful healthy. Now they're going to have to deal with Tyreek and that shoulder injury and what that looks like, and Jalen's already missing. So,
we'll back up a little bit. They lead the league in takeaways. Let's not that's big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it means something.
And then let's also Kevin Byard looks like an all-pro right now.
No doubt.
So and he's been one before. So that's amazing. But yes, if you're going to look at the concerns, the depth issues, and I wouldn't even call it issues because I think they've actually proven to have depth at corner this year. But eventually you have so many injuries where you're like, wait a minute, Kyler Gordon's now playing outside because they got Nick McLeod, who's got to be the backup nickel now. They just ran out of outside corners all of a sudden, and that's what's concerning.
Yeah. But we'll talk later in the week about just what's realistic, and we get more news about the health of Tyreek, and maybe we'll get a little bit more of that. I guess no later than Wednesday. We'll get there. But I do think that the reason why Dennis Allen got that game ball yesterday is the way he has realigned this defense and the way he's using the defense. So he deserves props on that.
It was arguably their best performance to date.
Yeah.
That was the defense's best performance to date.
Well, I guess what's surprising me the most about the takeaway run that they've been on is that, and they were better yesterday, but they still aren't getting consistent pass rush, over that sample size. So it is kind of remarkable that they've been able to get as many takeaways without a dynamic pass rush. So real quick before we break, I would say if Tyreek Stevenson's out now and they're taking even more of a hit at their cornerback depth, to me, the best way to help that is Montez Sweat continues to play like he did yesterday.
Yep.
And Dayo Dangbo just has to do more.
Did you know, Briggs, that who do you think on the defensive line got the most snaps yesterday?
Got the most snaps?
Who was out there the most on the D line?
Ooh. If I had to guess. Maybe Sweat.
Maybe Sweat is incorrect.
Okay.
But Sweat was out there for 40 plays, which was 71%. These are Kevin Fishbane stats, by the way. Just below Montez Sweat with 37 snaps, which was 66%, was Jervon Dexter. Below that, just below, was our guy Dominic Robinson, who had a sweet play on Taysom Hill. 31 snaps. He's out there 55% of the time, which is by far the most that he's been out there. By the way, shout out to Dex with he's on.
So the name you haven't brought up now must be the guy who's number one.
Yeah,
and that is
Dayo. 86% of the plays, 48 snaps for the Dayo.
Oh, 55, huh?
Yeah,
Good old double nickels.
I mean, for those who have worn that number, I don't know if it's crawling, getting a little irritating.
No, you don't come off the field.
Okay,
That's actually, I'm pleasantly happy about it.
Yeah.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. We got the grades. The professors coming up next. But first,
Hey, shout out to our friends at CHSN. That's right, we're talking about you, the Chicago Sports Network. It is the official TV and streaming home for the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the White Sox. Big win yesterday for your Hawkies.
the Hawkies?
Yeah.
No, well, they play hockey, but yeah, it was a big win, Carm.
Big win. CHSN offers an all-access plan that's $29.99 a month, gives you access to all the games. You can go individual team if you're just a Hawk. Hoagie, $19.99 a month. You wouldn't do that, though. You love the Bulls. You could sign up to watch CHSN at chsn.com, or you can watch via the CHSN app, which can be downloaded on Apple and Android devices, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Samsung TV, and, of course, it's also available on Xfinity, on DirecTV. That's where I'm watching. DirecTV Stream, Fubo. Get yourself in there. Visit chsn.com for more details.
Might see a James Hoge make an appearance on the Blackhawks pregame show every once in a while.
Dominating
Likes to
performance.
get right to the front of the line.
Dude just handles a face-off
Yeah.
like no 10-year-old ever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, and if you want to just go to the games,
Yeah.
Game Time's the place to go. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. Incredibly easy to use. I go on the Game Time app all the time just to check ticket prices because to me it's the most intuitive app. Just pick up any game, concert, comedy event, whatever. Carm was looking at Adam Sandler tickets earlier.
It was.
Game Time it up. They always include the fees so you know what you're going to pay. What were you going to say?
Currently looking at Hawk tickets for next Sunday night after our amazing event. It's going to be great. Maybe I know you're going. Maybe I'll join you, Adam.
Papa Hoge will be there too. Check out Zone Deals too. You can choose the section or just the general area, and then Game Time will select the seat that you actually have, and you're going to save a bunch of money doing that. So check out Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. You can download the app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHGO, $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
All right. It is the time that we've all been waiting for, and that time is the professor is in town, and here we go with the grades. You've been waiting for this, and here they come.
Yes, the professor is back. I would put no B+. There's no way. That is the lowest grade I've given this year. Well, fellas, 4-game win streak. Professor's happy. All right. We're happy to be decided between A's, B's, maybe C+.
Let's go.
Rather than the old D's and F's that we used to give out. So let's start with offense. Offensively, I gave them a B. All right, I know they had about 386 yards of total offense. Turned the ball over one time with an interception. The tarnish here, penalties. Mm-hmm. Too many penalties that are within our control. And then we still have missed opportunities. You know, there's great that Caleb's able to avoid some of those sacks and extend plays. But when you have an opportunity to get the ball down the field, let's seize those opportunities rather than become incomplete passes.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, look. It's funny because like you look at the advanced metrics this morning, and they're all really, really good. It just shows you how effective they were running the football.
Yeah.
And you can't, you certainly can't ding them for that. But
Not
on
at
the
all.
other hand, the penalties and just sort of the lack of efficiency in the passing game too it wasn't perfect by any means.
So the professor raises the bar. That's what he does. You got standards. I think are these new glasses for the professor today?
Well, we've always had them back there, you know. Just it feels very 4-game streakish.
Yeah.
He's the Canadian professor today
like
from Toronto.
Oh, Canadian, eh? Oh.
He's representing Theo.
It sounds like a slicker professor. I like it.
Defensively, A-.
There it is. There it is.
All right, and I'm going to explain the minus. But when you take the ball away 4 times, you have 4 sacks. You hold them under 100 yards rushing. You're 30% on third down. You're 100% on fourth down. Sorry, guys. The standard is the standard. All right, you have to hold them to under 200 yards passing, and they got 206. I know it's petty. It's petty. I know, but you know what? The standard is the standard, and so that is honestly why they got the minus. And A's, they still get an A.
I think that's fair. I think A- is completely fair because they played great.
They played great,
but right before halftime and then coming out of halftime,
Yes.
there was some slippage there. I mean, to the standard.
Yeah.
And like that's not to say they can't score on you at some point, but all of a sudden it looked too easy. And it was a little blip for most of the game. Then they got back to the takeaways and everything fine.
Yep.
But yeah, there were a couple drives that were like, Spencer Rattler's doing this? Like what?
Well, it was the drive at the end of the first half, and then the drive to open up the second half. That could be the minus, I suppose.
It's your minus.
That's a minus. Tyreek getting beat up top. That could be
Great
your minus.
tackle though after that.
Phenomenal tackle. Yeah. You know what was interesting too? Right before, if you go back and throw Ben Johnson into this mix, which I know we're going to get to coaching here in a second, but the Bears could have run out the clock at the end of the first half, but they threw the ball and ended up going 3 and out. And the Saints got the ball deep in their own territory, so you still feel comfortable, and then they hit the bomb. And then all of a sudden, now you got...
I don't want my head coach to be conservative in that moment.
You're up 20-0?
Yeah, but wasn't there still how much time was on the clock? A minute? 30?
2 minutes?
Enough.
That's a 2-minute drill. You practice every day at training camp for that exact moment. You're not just going to punt on it. Plus, they still had timeouts, didn't they? The Saints, I'm saying.
I don't
Saints.
think the Saints. I'd have to go back and double check that. I'm not sure they did though.
When did they had to have 10 timeouts. In that
Maybe
time.
they did. Maybe they did. Okay.
Well, moving on to special teams. I gave it special teams an A. I know we kicked a couple field goals. Torrey Taylor, he on a weekly basis he does a great job. I don't think that there was nothing that shined or was glaring in the negative category this week. So I thought an A was deserving.
Yeah, I mean, look, Torrey Taylor, he's been good lately, and especially yesterday. They managed to. You never want to go 3 and out to start the game.
Yeah.
But with the way the field position is now, they start at the 35, and then they get a good punt, and even though they went 3 and out, they backed up the Saints inside their own red zone, or inside their own 20, which is what you're trying to do. There are a couple of tiny little things that you could pick on, but for the most part, I thought it was a good performance.
Well, I mean, Moody makes all 4 of his kicks. I mean, none greater than 39 yards, but you can't ask the guy to do anything else other than put it through the uprights, which he did.
He did.
Taylor landed 2 inside the 20. Duvernay by the way.
Yeah.
It's a big week for Duvernay, former Raven, getting to go up against his former team. Well, there's going to be a lot of talk later this week about Roquan Smith being motivated to play the Bears, but don't forget about Duvernay. Maybe
Well, we got a super chat on that right now. MC Sports Vault, $5 says Duvernay return stats are underwhelming. He runs into guys every return. Can we save a needed roster spot and give Burden or someone else his role?
That's interesting.
Look, here's the big thing that Duvernay does, and this is important. You feel good about it. You feel secure with him handling the football.
Yep.
So that is very, very important, and trust me, coaches care about that first.
Yep.
You can be as electric as you want as a returner, but if they can't trust you to catch it, can't put you out there. That being said, I do want to see more of Luther Burden get more opportunities because I haven't seen anything where he's not good catching the ball. And I do think he might be able to be a little bit more explosive at times.
Well, since you brought that up, if you look at snap counts on the offensive side of the football, Luther Burden specifically, Burden was out there for 19 plays 28% of the time, which, is not a ton.
Oh, it's rookie.
Olamide Zaccheaus, 36 snaps, 52% of the time. You want to flip that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's the same thing
You
as
don't
I
have to
just
rush
said.
into any of that stuff.
It's that T word I was talking about, trust.
Which leads us to coaching. Fellas, and this one was a change in my head. At first, it was a B+. And Ben lucked out because he went for it on 4th down. This was where me and Hoge, we had differing opinions. And so we both ended up being right because it was the luckiest moment for a coach probably making the wrong call and gets another shot. They move us back, and he ends up kicking it. So I ended up changing the B+ to an A. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, it's far be it from me to pick at the professor.
Yeah.
But who are you putting all these penalties on? That's got to be a little bit of coaching now.
Yeah.
Don't you think that should be an A-?
Well, we forgot to do the last category, which is the referees, and they get an F.
Yep.
No.
There's some balance there too. There were some really bad calls. Yes, there are things that we need to clean up. But when you have a performance, this was, I believe, our defense's best performance up to date. We continue to run the ball extremely well. We have places where we really do need to grow, but we're doing it in a winning fashion. And we keep talking about culture, the culture. We've been waiting for this culture for a long time. That has everything to do with coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will say this too. There's the Bears. The offensive pre-snap stuff, like, sure, you can make an argument that somewhere coaching comes in on that, but it's not like they're not working on it. And I think it's, at this point, the expectation should be the players should be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
If there was a rash of undisciplined penalties, that I would put on coaching. And they're
That's
not. The penalties you're seeing called, whether they're good or bad, are effort. Right? Like, nobody's mad that Jaquan Brisker hit the quarterback in the helmet yesterday because he got the arm first and it was a great rush. Or, Kyler Gordon hit the guy hard. Now, maybe they might put that on film and say, hey, this technique could have been a little bit better, but they're not going to single him out. So I don't – it's not like we're seeing a bunch of guys make stupid decisions after the whistle or they're taunting guys and it just seems like they're uncontrollable. That I would put more on coaching, and I'm not seeing that right now.
That's fair. And one thing Ben Johnson did extremely well yesterday was throw the challenge flag. First of all, he hucked it halfway out in the middle of the field. So that was a great effort. And second of all, that was not necessarily that easy of a challenge on the hook and ladder situation there. Ben, on a 3rd and 20, got the Saints off the field. Just good timing. So it was a good impact by our head coach.
A guy that runs a lot of trick plays or has a lot of trick plays in his book. The one of those a lateral pass is probably in play. So that could probably be an easy call for him.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't. Plus, he couldn't stomach them running it against him, I'm sure.
Right.
So he had to take that off the scoreboard. I'm still surprised they overturned it. But I think it was a good challenge because there's some times where the play is just too big, too impactful that even if it's 50-50, that's why you challenge it because half the time you can't trust New York to get it right.
I actually think that was the biggest play of the game was that challenge. It's 24-13. The
Yeah.
Saints convert a 3rd and 20. They're going to be on the Bears side of the field, and with a chance to score and cut it to a one-possession game. Instead, the Bears get the ball back to kick a field goal. Now they're up a much more comfortable 12 points.
I mean, I agree that. I mean, I think it was the biggest play of the game for the Saints. I'd like to think the Bears still find a way to win, even if the Saints go down and score on that. But it did kind of eliminate any chance of a comeback for New Orleans for sure.
Hey, we're getting to the top of the hour here, so just a reminder to become a diehard. No better way to support the show and get yourself a free T-shirt and also get a discount on the rest of our merch and all our events. We're going to have a great time next Sunday. Watch party at Joe's on Weed Street. Briggs will be there. Hoge is going to be doing his Hoge thing.
That means I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what that.
Yeah. He's going to be hogging it up.
He's going to be, but you're going to be in like some corner there with your notebook, and you're just going to be taking some copious extravaganzas that I encourage people to bug you and get you focused away from, the game for just a second, see if you can get it done. And then Braggs, I think, is invited too. I'm pretty certain that he'll be there as well. Anyway, come on out. It's going to be a ton of fun at Joe's on Weed Street. Thank you to all who've become a diehard. We do have to get to Hogegate. Coming up here.
Real quick.
Real quick, or should I save my notes on everything else for tomorrow? Because I got a bunch of little notes in here.
Well, if it's football stuff, we can save it for tomorrow.
All right, we'll save football stuff for tomorrow. Yeah. We'll talk about Cole Kmet's back issue tomorrow. We'll talk about Grady Jarrett tomorrow. Austin Booker looks like he's headed towards returning. What does that mean for the roster? Jake Moody. It's the last time that he can be upgraded off the practice squad. See how the Bears handle that this week. But we've got something to handle here, Hoge. So why don't you talk about what you did yesterday?
Thanks for giving CHSN our entire rundown for tomorrow.
Well, hey, we're here to support everybody in town with what should be talked about. That's no problem. So
we can have fun on a Monday. Everybody relax.
It's fine.
Come on.
It's fine. It's amazing, though.
Victory Monday.
Let's get this investigation.
But all right. So Hoge comes out yesterday. Long day here. We, we're at the tailgate early in the morning. We got, shows and everything else going on. So
Mud wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What did you do? What did you bring?
I had these. Well, I have these. My wife bought these. I talked about this on Hogan John's last week. My wife bought these Starbucks Ice Energy drinks, like at Costco. Like the can ones. They're cans.
Sounds terrible.
It does.
Well, they work, though. So,
okay.
I mean, there's some energy drinks that work and there's some that don't. This thing is like, it's on the level of, it's working a little bit too good sometimes. But, these game days can be long days. So I brought one in yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you were so
I was
so excited to see me that you didn't need it.
I was, the adrenaline of the game. Bears win.
Carm.
I didn't need it.
Right.
So, I'm like, I'm going to leave that there in the refrigerator. I might need it tomorrow. I stay up late usually on Sunday nights watching the game over, more notes, getting ready for Monday. Got here this morning. Can's gone.
Can is gone.
Stolen Starbucks can. And so what we have done, because we did have, there were some people staying late.
I think a lot of people can relate to this, by the way. Anybody who works in a work environment, stuff's going missing in a refrigerator.
For the record, Hoge departed immediately after the show yesterday, about 4:48, because his son was playing in a hockey game, and the great dad that Adam is, he wanted to go and support him. So he raced on out of here. Carm sat down to write his amazing grades, which were not as good as Briggs' grades, but mine are actually written out, so go to allchgo.com to read them. We were very much on the same thing. So I am a potential suspect. Steven was here long after the show.
Steven wouldn't have drank that thing. I'm taking him off the list.
Steven brings his own coffee. It's in my hand right now.
Steven's not on the suspect
Steven's on my list. He was here. Emma was
passing
here.
a lot of blame there, Carm.
Emma was here.
First of all, this is Steven's investigation.
Yeah, this is my investigation.
Yeah.
I've
All right.
compiled the
You
suspects.
put a lot of work into this.
I've got the suspects
All right, fine.
here.
Oh, my God. For the record, this is Steven naming names.
Yeah, I'm naming names. So let's start with Jay Zawoski, who's sitting right over there right now. He had a late night Blackhawks post-game show. Went to overtime. Is that correct?
Yeah.
A little bit later of a night, in fact. Maybe he needed a little extra energy boost.
This is a 6 o'clock
little
start.
He
though.
sees
Yeah.
Hoge's
It wasn't
blueberry
7:30.
lemonade Starbucks drink in the fridge and
I
thinks,
tell you
what?
this. I opened the fridge and I saw a Starbucks iced
Oh, we have a witness.
deal.
We got a witness.
I saw it. It was in the door.
Yeah.
It was in the door because I used something.
Yeah.
There was something that I used.
Another candidate, Lance Briggs, looked at it, might be trying to act like play coy here, but possible. Saw it, could have been the dude that walked out of her with it. He had, had to do brick by brick, working with Braggs.
We definitely did brick by brick.
Yeah, everybody in brick by brick's a candidate. I don't see them on the list, but looks like the Hawks are on blaster. By the way, Steven used to produce the Hawk show.
He basically put everybody working on the Hawks
guest
show last
or Hawks suspect number 2. That would be Greg Boysen, who was in last night. Same thing. It's a late night, maybe he had a long drive. He has a long drive in, and he thinks, you know what, this game's going a little too late. Let's get a little sip of this blueberry lemonade. He tries just a little, and he takes a little fancy to it and decides, you know what, I'm going to drink the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then Hoge left strawberry or blueberry lemonade drinkless, has to come in today, and he's got nothing. And then suspect number 3, and this is prime suspect, is Joey Christopoulos, who he was at our tailgate yesterday morning at 5 a.m., I believe.
5 a.m.
And he has to come back out to do the Blackhawks postgame show at night. That's
a long
very
day.
long. We're talking somewhere in the realm of a 20-hour day.
But Emma's in our comments saying that Joey doesn't drink caffeine.
That's an interesting one
And
too,
if that's
because
true,
because Emma also again was here, and Emma definitely drinks caffeine. In fact, a lot of caffeine.
He's made it very clear he doesn't drink caffeine. So I'm defending Joey.
So
on
now
this one.
Sarah.
by the way, even more respect to Joey if he doesn't drink caffeine, because he did set up that tailgate at 5 a.m. and then produce the Hawks show.
Let's be honest. Joey is caffeine, so I'm not surprised that he doesn't drink caffeine because that dude's got a lot of energy.
Emma bought me a coffee in the morning, so if it was her, she gets a pass.
And she also is very bougie, so she probably just a canned coffee. That's not going to be enough for an Emma. You know the youth of America.
And honestly, as somebody who enjoyed the Blackhawks postgame show last night, if it was anybody on that team, then I'm glad I contributed to the show in some way. So I guess when this is all said and done, I don't really care who did it.
I don't think this is done because I did a little extra investigating
Steven's in on this.
during our meeting, and I can't go to the tape, but what I can do is I could go to the garbage can and I could look, and there is no Starbucks in that garbage can.
So somebody took it home.
Who's the director of
What's inside
garbage
that
around
can
here?
right- the cup right there.
now that-
Who is the director of garbage? Look at that face. Tell me that face did not steal your Starbucks, Hoge.
Wow, what a turn by Steven. I think that's brilliant. And I will say, as director of garbage, because apparently somebody needs to do this, and I've taken this on, I did take out 2 pizza boxes, an RC Cola, and 2 full trash bags yesterday before I left after writing my amazing notes. So, and I did not look at what was in there. So the timeline, that is new garbage. So if it was drinking before,
He knows if it's new or old.
that's new garbage, and it's not in the new garbage. So could it have been drinking immediately, which again would throw it back onto the Bears show as somebody who would have drank it then and then thrown it in. And I am telling you right.
If your drink was magically replaced, all is good.
That's an interesting.
You know what I mean?
Is there something you want to tell us, Lance?
I'm just saying, whomever might have, sipped on or taken the drink, if you replace it, I'm sure
You know what?
all is forgiven.
We're all teammates here. If I could have contributed to a show that was here after I left, because I was one of the first people to leave here after the game.
B252, BT52, it was not me.
And like,
It sounds like he knows who it was, though.
so Brad,
I have a guess.
I think we can zone in on Braggs, who also did leave immediately after brick by brick, sprinted out of here. But that is a guy that lives on a lot of caffeine.
You know what? I might bring a whole case of these things next week, and we'll have the best post-game show we've ever done.
Well, apparently we're not going to get to the bottom of this.
Briggs,
Brad.
you said you have an idea. You want to share who that idea?
No, because, I don't think it's good to give out, these.
No snitching.
No snitching.
Yeah, no snitching.
we're not snitches.
And I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's not fair to that person.
All I
or
know
those
is that
persons.
Woot bought us pizza yesterday, and I was going to throw. There was a whole pizza basically left, and Steven screamed, "Don't throw that out." He was going to eat
true.
it.
That's true.
And
I did eat most of it.
You ate most of it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So I mean, you get real.
Amanda Forty did eat all of my Sour Patch Kids 2 weeks ago, though. So
I think her last name's pronounced Ford.
Yeah.
what?
I think it's pronounced Ford.
Well, then why'd she put the E in the end?
Just
Messed up. That's on her.
Just remember, be a good teammate. If you take someone's nasty Starbucks drink in a can,
How do you know it's nasty?
By the way, these things are phenomenal. Ooh.
because I've tried it before.
Did you try it yesterday
What do you think
around
about
5
the
o'clock?
blueberry lemonade flavor
No,
specifically?
okay. That's actually a fair point. That if the blueberry lemonade might be delicious.
Don't tell on yourself.
Yeah. All right.
would,
I thought
though.
this was a good show, guys. Bears
Yeah.
going for number 5
Yes, indeed.
next week. We're back tomorrow, and we're not done yet today. If you missed Hogan John's earlier, go check it out. It is up on the Hogan John's YouTube channel and as available as a podcast. We got the Bears After Dark tonight with Braggs and company.
Bet she's going to be extra caffeinated.
What? He probably isn't even watching right now. He's going to start the show with it sitting on the set.
Well, that's another sign because he hasn't said anything all show long, which means that he hit that caffeine and then
stayed
just
up way too late. Now he's sleeping.
and now he's done.
That's a good point. He also was up at 4 a.m. yesterday, so I'll give him a pass. And what else we got? We'll be back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. As always, we'll do a little good take, bad take. Got you covered for a whole another week of Bears football. Bears going for 5 in a row, and it's a good one against the Baltimore Ravens. Appreciate everybody being here. Oh, we got supers.
Oh, and Jordan Brody, my bad. I was going to read that earlier. $50. That's a huge super chat. We should have gotten to
That was
it
the
earlier.
last second. I'm sorry. I almost forgot that, guys.
My apologies, but Steven just saved you.
It's all that caffeine.
We'll give you the full love here, though. Is Caleb's accuracy getting to be a real concern? I like the guy, but that's definitely something I'm noticing. Look, Jordan, he called it out himself yesterday. He's got to be better on the deep ball. And what's stunning to me is that his accuracy, last year he completed 62.5% of his passes. Right now he's at 61, so he's down 1.5%. You would not think that would be the case in 6 games into Ben Johnson.
Yep.
I don't think it's a percentage thing if you watch the games. You know what I mean? If you watch the games, you know, we all know exactly what we mean by being more accurate, and I think he certainly has potential. He can get it done. He can get it done. And I think as we progress during the season with a great run game, we allow that process to not have to be rushed.
Okay.
Yep.
Back, Briggs going positive. I like it. David Wensink, $2 from Canada.
From Canada.
Good to see Briggs rep the Boatman.
Is that what they call the mascot?
Argo.
Or the
The Argo
logo?
Boatman?
The Boatman.
Boatsman, yep.
Argo is a great movie, by the way. I might go watch it later today. Actually, I can't. 2 Monday Night Football games tonight.
Thanks for that update.
Argo's
Nice.
good.
Oh, quick shout out to Major League Baseball putting Game 7 of the ALCS against 2 Monday Night Football games. Great way to grow your sport and get people to watch. It's a phenomenal job. All right. There's a Tuesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Nothing on tomorrow.
Okay.
I might actually watch it. I'm not watching baseball tonight. We got 2 football games on.
It's not a bad take, but
It's a great take. Also a great take is buying the someone had bought the Good, Better, Best shirt. I believe that was up there in the comments too. It's okay. Whoever it was. Christopher Thomas, shout out to you about the Good, Better, Best shirt. It signed up to be a diehard, got the free shirt. That's a great reason to become a diehard. We've talked enough here. Appreciate everybody being here. See you tonight on Bears After Dark and tomorrow at 1 o'clock right back here on CHGO Bears.
We all silly like the mayor.